Hello everyone, this is Debo of Debo's Movie Reviews here, and today I'll be reviewing Blade Trinity, directed by David S. Goyer, starring Wesley Snipes as Blade, Jessica Biel as Abigail Whistler, Chris Christopherson as Whistler, Ryan Reynolds as Hannibal King, Parker Posey as Danica Talos, Dominic Purcell as Dracula, featuring Natasha Lyonne and Patton Oswalt, and Paul Triple H. Levesque. And a little off topic here, but talk about one of the biggest lies of my childhood was believing that Triple H, his real name really was Hunter Hearst Helmsley, not Paul Levesque. Till like Internet Movie Database and various other movies he was in, kind of pretty much done born that one out. But hey, back to Blade Trinity. I gotta say, despite its negative reviews from the professional critics and and the whole behind the scenes drama of like how Wesley Snipes was hard to work with on the set with and and him beefing with Ryan Reynolds throughout the whole movie. And I mean, damn, they ought to do like a making of movie of that one. Document behind and hell. And another thing with Ryan Reynolds as Hannibal King. In this one, he was like a human who turned, then got cured for some reason, and joined this group of Night Stalkers with Whistler's daughter, a whole separate group that which Blade and his daughter never met until after the feds killed Whistler in that raid. After beginning of the movie when Blade kills a familiar. And for those that don't know, it's like the the humans who want to be vampires, but still got to do the bidding of vampires because vampires can't go out at night. I mean, in the daytime and all, but so the familiars got to do our daytime stuff. Kind of like, kind of like being a vampire is almost like in Mob. You got to be a foot, get made, start at the bottom and get made. And hell, despite that and kind of the rarely miscast take on Dracula, I mean, Dominic Purcell, he's great as a side characters. I mean, kind of like, but not as a lead villain. I mean, I just somebody gotta be like a high caliber actor to play Dracula in this day and age. I mean, was the studio too cheap for like someone like Willem Dafoe or let alone someone like that range? But while Purcell made this one look like a straight to video sequel, I mean, Purcell was more qualified to be a was more qualification would be like a sci-fi channel variant of Dracula, not a big budget Dracula like this, like Blade Trinity was supposed to be. And I gotta admit but overall, I gotta give it to Ryan Reynolds. I mean, I already mentioned that, but, but hey, pick up anything about Ryan Reynolds up, you notice that when it came to playing Hannibal King, he acted more like Deadpool, which explains why he was so perfect for the role of Deadpool, and he himself led the damn charge to play Deadpool. Hell, and even at some point, and for the whole movie, I can say giving her the whole happy-go-lucky thing mannerisms Ryan Reynolds is known for in his roles, and the whole, especially since because in Blade Trinity he was basically in Deadpool mode before then, and then I got to give it to old Jessica Biel. I mean, kind of best thing she's done in a movie wise is was being Abigail Whistler. I mean, I gotta say it. I mean, she was a badass in that movie. I'm talking about kind of like a cross between Buffy and Kate Bishop Hawkeye. Kind of from my opinion on it, and I give it a lot of epic action. These like gunplay and old arsenals stuff. I mean, from like one sequence where he's fighting off these vamps in the beginning before he kills a familiar, and then you had that whole sequence where he's on top, or Whistler's in a 18-wheeler, kind of like or I call it, almost consider that a nod to his role, to Christopherson rolling convoy, saving old Blade's ass one more time, and then, and of course, Blade gets in that trailer and hops in that badass Charger, gives them all a badass chase scene. I mean, oof. And talk about some epic action out of that sequence and all. Even at that raid where he's fighting off the feds, which I gotta give it to old James Remar, playing like the lead fed in that movie. Because he always knocks out of the park at playing when it comes to. Always considered him an underrated actor. And of course, with Patton Oswalt in his role. And then he had that whole virus thing. And I do gotta admit, one good thing of Darwin Purcell playing Dracula was when he transformed into that monster at the end, and they had that epic showdown of Daywalker versus Daywalker, and because for some reason his version of Dracula could walk around in the daytime and all, where almost every other damn version of Dracula was almost night shift. Because yeah, you had like Lugosi, Christopher Lee, Jack Palance. They always were more the traditional Dracula, but kind of a love hate with that role of somebody just what Purcell wasn't in that caliber, but I can't really knock him because he's done better roles and all in other movies, but yeah, it was a terrible Dracula. Did not have leading man material. Man. Plus, I gotta give it a yeah, great action. Overall, I'm gonna have to give this one about a 4 out of at least a 3.5 out of 5. I mean, I want to say 5, but just nowhere near the caliber of Blade 2 and 1, and just kind of just it was a fitting end, but could have did better. That's all I got to say about it. Now, I'll keep this. Comment what you want. Comment some suggestions. I'll keep dishing them out.